Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel, and as promised, I'm going to be reacting to some of my old home movies that I made many moons ago. I don't know if I'm going to have a name for this series, probably like retro reaction, retro home movie reaction, I don't fucking know. But a few weeks ago, I put up in the community post of my channel that I was going to be reacting to my old home movies. Now, the first cab off the rank is called If Dreams Could Kill, and that is a Freddy Krueger based home movie I made back in 2006 with my mate Pete. Pete and I met in the first week of high school, grade 7, or as Americans call freshman year. We met in 2001. That was when we first started high school, and yes, I feel very old. Pete is still one of my dearest friends to this day. So I've asked for his permission for me to do this because he obviously appears front and center in the movie. It goes for about 5 odd minutes. Pete gave his blessing. He said, enjoy the cringe, man. And that's what today's going to be all about. Enjoying the cringe. Now, I'm just going to be reacting, pausing it, going back now and then to show you guys little bits of trivia and stuff like that during filming. And when you see certain shots in the film, we're quite proud of them. We're quite proud of some of the dream concepts we came up with, even though it's like a 5 odd minute thing. But it's just a hilarious watch, and I hope you guys get an absolute kick out of it. And I love seeing people's old home movies that they made in their backyard with their friends and stuff like that. It's cool to see how far people have come in terms of filmmaking, especially when they are a filmmaker to this day and do it full time. I love little success stories like that. And I love seeing humble beginnings where you started out doing something for no budget at all, utilizing what you have. Now, being 2006, I was in my last year of high school. Well, Pete and I were in our last year of high school, grade 12 here in Australia. By then, I was sculpting, molding, and casting my own latex mask. So I was utilizing my Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 Freddy Krueger mask that I had just finished. So obviously, I was playing Freddy. Pete plays the victim, and I also play a janitor. I have my cameo as out of makeup Freddy as the janitor. Very reminiscent of Wes Craven's cameo from the first Scream, where he was wearing Freddy's garb. Now, the camera that we were using at the time, here, let me get it up because I'm going to forget it, is the Sony Cybershot F707. This was my dad's camera. Dad actually still has it to this day. Back in the early 2000s, this was a beast of a camera, and it also had a movie mode, but we obviously did not have proper audio recording equipment, so it is very shit audio, so hopefully you guys will be able to pick it up. Again, I'm going to be reacting to the footage, pausing it now and then, telling you little trivia bits here and there, and then continue it. This is probably going to get pinged and demonetized because we are utilizing the soundtrack from Freddy vs. Jason, most notably the tracks Gib Meets Freddy, when Gib, one of the girls from the film, encounters Freddy in the boiler room when she is passed out. And it's funny, I'll get to it in a bit, but the track syncs up so well to our footage, we didn't even manipulate or cut the score. It's crazy how well it worked out. But anyway, I'm waffling on. This is the first episode. Again, Pete and I did If Dreams Could Kill. We did a film called Disturbed, which was a Michael Myers one. Our first film was called The Bloodening, which I do utilize this Freddy Krueger mask, but I'm not playing Freddy per se. It's like a hybrid of Freddy and Michael. We also did a Mafia short film called The Job, and we also did another one called The Last Mile, which was heavily inspired by Wolf Creek. So I'm hoping to go through all of these and finishing on the piece de resistance that I made with my other friends, Neil, Shane, and Marshall back in 2003. So grade 9, called The Matrix Full Throttle and The Matrix Rise of the Machines. Very inventive, I know. I'm hoping to do that one by the time I hit 10,000 subscribers. I think that'd be a nice little blowout video to do because it is, quite frankly, a tour de force of a film, or tour de force of cringe. Again, there's going to be a lot of stopping and starting, but without further ado, this is If Dreams Could Kill, circa 2006, starring Peter Suter and Chris Stanley. So obviously that's the intro to Freddy vs. Jason when the New Line Cinema logo comes up. This footage right here is from our family friends that lived down the road that had this really fancy waterfront. They had like a mansion and everything, and we were visiting down there one day. Pete and I were just hanging out. We had the camera. We were about to start filming back at my place. So the whole film, apart from this shot, was filmed at my parents' place. But we saw this and we were like, this looks so artistic. The water, everything moody. It's all cloudy and dark. Let's have that for the title card. And we thought it worked out pretty well. So here's our introduction to our main hero, Pete. And this is my bedroom. Now, please take note of the leopard print rug and the various photos of half-nude girls on my closet door from a magazine that is no longer in production called Zoo. And for good reason. There's no way in hell Zoo could be made today with the world we live in. So, yeah, great introduction, great transition of music. You know, that abrupt stop just really takes you by surprise and really lets you know as the audience what you are in for. Some damn good editing. POV of Pete breathing heavily. So if we go back, going around the room, so what you see here is where I used to sit on my older cosplay Chris videos when I was still living with mum and dad, and I had that nice little nook. That is that corner right there. So my room has shifted a lot over the years in terms of aesthetic and where my bed was. Then obviously I went from a single bed, which I have here, to a double bed. That's my old computer desk. That mask you see there next to the TV was one I sculpted called Dead Owl. Look at that bloody tube telly there. What a ripper. You can see hanging there in the middle on the wall just above the telly. That's my Spawn issue 1, which I'm kicking myself. I gave away to a dear friend of mine who helped me out with some training and diet and stuff like that. But he's enjoying it. He's a big Spawn fan. And if I just go a bit further, see down the bottom right, that mask? That is the mask that I indeed wear for the film. Again, based on the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 makeup. Anyway, let's continue. Freddy vs. Jason poster. Peter Suter. Oh, look at that lovely photo up the top left corner. It's great. Good times. Dramatically grab the hat. So this is Pete essentially getting geared up now. And that's the mattress he would sleep on when he'd stay over. So does this mean it's a very meta, breaking the fourth wall multiverse we have created? Because there is a Freddy vs. Jason poster on the wall, but Freddy Krueger exists in the real world. Like, is this the continuation of New Nightmare? And oh, who gives a fuck? Grabs a gun. Now, don't ask why at my computer desk I had a grade photo from our year in high school, scissors, an egg timer, and a deodorant can. It sounds like a fun Saturday night. I like this shot. I like how dimly lit it is. You know, it took us hours to set that lighting up just to get that silhouette, just to give that grim kind of sense of what's about to go down. I think it was just beautifully done. Grabbing the trenchy. That's the hero shot. Now, before you get your knickers in a tangle, our obsession with trench coats did not come from Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. I was got to say that. We were obsessed with The Matrix at the time. Obviously, the trilogy had been completed by then, but I was still obsessed with The Matrix. I had all the McFarlane toys. I was just obsessed with Keanu Reeves' look from the first, second, and third, like when he transitioned from the trench coat to that nice button-up coat. And we just thought it was badass, you know, gearing up, get your gun, your trench coat, and everything just very... It's Matrix meets Freddy, put it that way. And that mask you see behind Pete was a high-end Freddy vs. Jason latex display mask I had from Mark Goodson, I think, back in the old Night Owl forum days. That was a beautiful mask, man. I do miss that one. Oh, and also you can see on my computer screen we're editing one of our movies we made a few days beforehand at the time. So it's great. Freddy sweater. So again, this track is called Gib Meets Freddy, and I kid you not, we have done nothing to chop and change the audio. It just synced up with everything you're about to see in terms of the beats. Now that sweater I bought from St. Vinny's or Op Shop, and a thrift store, if you will, and I spray painted the green stripes on. Like, you're not going to find something like that at a thrift store. I had to spray paint on the green stripes, and I got so fucking lazy, and you're going to see, I didn't even do the back. I was just worried about what the front looked like. There were no stripes on the back. Gone. Boom. See, it just matched up to all the beats of our footage. We couldn't believe it. We're like, oh my God, because we got halfway through editing, well, quarter of the way, sorry. We got up to editing this point before we kept filming to see if it would work. And it worked. We're like, oh my God, we got to keep going with this. So we're really happy. There's your boy. So if we go back, look in the background at the outside the door. You can see my dad with no shirt on, just walking up into the back rumpus room. There I am. So yes, that's the mask I made. That's the Dickie sweater. And that is a glove that I made. It was just a part 6 glove at the time. And obviously we've got the high-end part 6 right here. No burns on the hands because that's just how lazy we are and that's just how we roll. Stay away. Those beats again. We couldn't believe it. When I took those 2 shots, the beats just married up so well. Like, you couldn't have planned it any better. And you can see no green stripes on the back of the sweater. And you just see to the upper left there, the glove and the mask just chilling there. That's my costume just there. No fucks given. You're about to see my mum make a cameo because Pete and I had to get this swirling shot. Again, we were very proud of some of the creative liberties we took with the dream sequences, the sweater disappearing, and this part right here. So I'll just go back. And as Pete's spinning, obviously first person. There's my mum in the background there. I think she was making lunch. So technically 4 people are in this film. And then this is out into the garage, the good old workshop. The glove. That is my cameo as the janitor. What are you doing down here, son? You scared me half to death. I was very proud of that. I did a lot of practice. I really wrote a lot of notes on the janitor's background, where he came from, what was his purpose in life, and his purpose to help the character of Pete. Oh, God.
God, you're here. Did you see that glove? What?
Glove's gone.
Where is it? Did you see?
So getting that shot on a tripod, Pete walks away from camera and I'm hanging in the rafters of mum and dad's garage. And this is at a time where I was like a string bean. I'd lost a lot of weight. Possibly had an eating disorder, but that's a story for another day. And I was like struggling because I wasn't like, proper into weightlifting at the time. I couldn't do a pull-up to save my life. So I'm there in the Freddy costume with the glove. I'm like, please, I'd like to get down now. And finally, when Pete hit his mark, I just tried to very slowly, calmly, coolly lower my legs like Michael Myers in Halloween H2O, and then finally do the thumb. We did it in one take. Love that shot when it goes to Pete and he's like, now, if you couldn't hear that because of the shitty audio, I just recycled the line from the first Elm Street where Freddy's like, you thinking you was going to get away from me, with he says to Nancy at the end. If you just see on the, and I'm actually fucking proud of that paint job. It reads well on camera, let alone, you know, a very low quality grainy camera. You can see on the back of the neck there, that's actually ribbon and string that held the mask together. So I had like holes in the back of the mask with a slit up it, put it on, and then you tied it to the back. If you try to put it on in one go, like without a seam, a slit or anything, it would probably pop because the neck was so thin. So it was quite a small mask. It did fit my head pretty well, but in terms of the neck, she was super tight. That's what she said. I'm like the penguin from Batman Returns. Now that was us paying homage to the dojo glove from Elm Street 4: The Dream Master when Rick gets killed. Again, it was just loosely on my hand. We had string and then Pete just like yanked it off. And then we had like the glove resting on the palm of my hand, first person shot, just going towards Pete. It was great. Now, listen very carefully. Hopefully you can pick it up. When Pete lies down, you're going to hear him under his breath call cut. You'll essentially just hear cut. Cut. Just fucking leave it in. And here we go, the climax of the film. Hold on to your butts. And this is our homage to the end of Halloween 1978. It does look creepy in black and white. And there's the glove. There's the glove, baby. I was proud of that one. That was a good build. And there you have it. If Dreams Could Kill. Cast: Freddy Krueger, Chris Stanley. Gunman, Peter Suter. I forgot we called him Gunman. Cinematographer. Camera supplier, John Stanley. Location supplier, Chris Stanley. So there you go, guys. That was If Dreams Could Kill from 2006. I had a really fun time doing this. It was good to reminisce and go back down memory lane with this one. Just the little bits of trivia and commentary that happened along the way. I really dig this type of stuff. So again, Pete and I, our first one was called The Bloodening, which I'm going to react to as well. We also did Disturb, which was a Michael Myers one, which I'm really looking forward to showing you guys. Again, I feel like we did some creative stuff in our films, especially when it came to like the dream sequences and little things happening, like the sweater disappearing, the spin around, stuff like that. Things that are there and then they're not there. I'm proud of that. And then we also did a Mafia one called The Job. And then along with our other best mate, Luke, we did one called The Last Mile, which I will have to find. It's on a hard drive somewhere, which is very heavily influenced by Wolf Creek. And then I'm going to end on a bang with my homemade Matrix movies. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the cringe, but I hope you just got a good laugh and just a bit of a, just not a chuckle like laughing at the stupidity of it, but just seeing where people come from. You know, humble beginnings. I'm proud of these. You know, Pete and I were super proud of these back in the day. It was our last year of high school, and Pete and I went on to do film school together for a few months at our local community college, or here we call it TAFE. We did that after we graduated. So we did that in 2007. And I actually learned a lot. I learned a lot of my sound design roots from there, and I continue them to this day when I do sound design. So yeah, it's definitely humble beginnings, but I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. I just hope you guys got a jonesing out of it. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.